Okay, we started recording. All right, people are still joining. Okay, so today we have, as usual, we have some of our regular sessions. We have morning stand-up, we have a morning tutorial. We have another session at 11 a.m. GMT, which is going to be run by a faculty member from Ashesi University. She's going to be talking about career coaching, building on the experience that she has building on the experience that she's had teaching learners from Ashesi. So Ashesi, for those of you who are in East Africa may not be aware, it's a liberal arts college, a private liberal arts college in Ghana, and their model is to be to take liberal arts education model from the US and to create a new generation of, as they would say, ethical entrepreneurial leaders. So they were the host, the physical host for our first batch of training in 2017. And so she's going to be doing an hour-long session on that. And the expectation is really in this, we're really in week one, it's very early, but starting to think about what does a career look like? What steps can you take to start building your career? Yeah, and as you can see, that CV work is going on. Some of the work on reporting, which I was happy to see, I'm going to be giving you guys feedback today, but starting to think about once you do the analysis, you need almost to bring a number of different things together, not only the technical side, which is important, learning how to implement things in production, that's important, figuring out how do you present the results is important, and then how do you take these steps in your career so that a job and the next job and the next position that you take, maybe the next freelancing role, all of these build up to add towards your career. So Sena's going to talk about that this afternoon, regular tutorial session. We had our first hand-in yesterday, so our next hand-in, we're not planning on doing any further quizzes this week. Our next hand-in will be on Sunday at 1800 GMT or 8 p.m. Rwanda time. We have one announcement. So all of you are aware that Ethiopia, their internet has been cut off since the 30th of June. And when we started the program, we had said that we wanted to limit it to 5 countries. We now have, we had admitted 47 people to the training. And our goal was always 50, and we weren't exactly sure what to do with Ethiopia because Ethiopia was, as you know, the internet was cut off and it was a situation that was unexpected. So Ethiopia's internet is now back, and we have, I think it's about 19 applicants from Ethiopia who weren't able to take part in the pre-training assessment week. And so the team was discussing, and we wanted to put this proposal out to you. And what we're going to do is after today's stand-up, we're going to post an anonymous poll in one of the channels. We have to still set that up and just ask everyone if they agree. But our proposal is as follows, that we take next week, and instead of doing a week of training, that we, out of solidarity, we say we want to do the pre-training assessment week together, all 47 of us, for the Ethiopians. And we take on the role of helping them to become their tutors, helping to teach them some of the material, helping us to select the people who are most suited to the program. And that would mean that the whole program would be delayed by 1 week. So next week would be slightly different. Next week would be pre-training assessment week for Ethiopia. And each of you would be working as to help us implement the program. We would add a couple of other things. We would extend, and Yevabal will talk more about this, extend the Twitter mining challenge and to build a first blog post that each of you can make on what it is that you're doing. We would continue work on careers and CVs and make sure that all of that is ready and put together a checklist for making sure that everyone's development environment is together. So to summarize, our proposal is we don't want to just say for all of the Ethiopian applicants that through no fault of their own, that this 2-week plus long internet outage, that they're just excluded from the program. So our proposal, and we will put up a poll for this and just get everyone's feedback, that next week we do the pre-training assessment week for them using all of your help. We will do a couple of learning or advancement resources for everyone on the side, and then we will start in earnest on week 2 1 week later. So that would mean that the program would be 13 weeks instead of 12 weeks. So just putting it out there, let's discuss on Slack. But for us, the major reason is we don't want to leave 1/5 of our community behind for no fault of their own. So that's our proposal. Yeah, Babel, over to you.
No, yeah, I mean, I think that's Arun summarized everything in that regard. But it's also, you can see it as a way of like digesting the materials. I mean, even, 3 weeks, 1 month for for a good Twitter analysis would be even shorter, right? So you can see it also as a way of like digesting the materials, and you can use it also as a way of like, okay, like where do I end up with this kind of analysis for? So I will try to guide you in that direction wherever you are. For example, from where you manage to get to actually be sharing it through a blog post, as well as also like if you manage to set up also Tableau, for example, create a couple of dashboards that you can share. So that's basically becomes concretizes this what you are doing today, and will continue for next week. So I think, yeah, like overall, I think if you are happy with that, you will be also able to support other people, in this case the Ethiopians, to kind of like have a 1 week of exactly the assessment you have like in that week. I think most of you were saying this was really incredible. It was highly high paced, but you found it very valuable, right? So it's kind of, you give the same environment to others. So in that way, you become also a tutor just on the other side because you already passed it. So that's the proposal. So let's see. Like, yeah, we'll set up, as I would say, anonymous poll such that you can give your voice on that.
So just a couple of words on feedback that we've been picking up from people. So one is that a lot of people said it was rough. I saw a lot of different ways to spell rough. So that's it should be good. It should be challenging, but we're learning on how we can make it as rough and productive. So it should be rough and productive, and not just rough and difficult. So in terms of being clear on exactly what is due, when it is due, expectations, points well taken. We're doing our best, especially for next week, to make that as clear as possible. In terms of getting feedback and making sure everyone has access to what they need to know and what they need to learn, we will keep doing better on that. I think it's great to see that the community is really active. Some of the discussions are there. It's great that Prosper's jumped in and people are getting answers right away. We will continue to make that better. You're going to see a change to the Slack environment in the next couple of days. So we should be able to close off some channels and make them announcement only. So that should become clearer. And I hope that we'll have some better editing tools, which will be to make it a little bit easier to find information. Yeah, all of this to say that it's been really fun the last couple of days, and we want to keep learning lessons. If people have had suggestions, for example, posting solutions, making things clearer, making it clear about what's due, and that's taken on board, and we will do our best. In terms of the assignment that everyone handed in yesterday, at least around report writing, you will be getting feedback, probably by some mechanism yet to be determined. So we have to figure out how best to give that to you. There's quite a variety of responses. I think some people really took it on board. Some people almost finished. I think one or two kind of finished the whole report. And some people, I have to say, I think just did a quick Google, cut and paste, and said, data science report, what are the top 3 headings? So that's good. But keep in mind, the best result, if it's not presented well, will be not as useful. So, yeah. Any questions, please post them on Slack and we'll do our best to respond. You can use the week 1 channel. Week 2 channel has already been posted. So we'll start filling that up next week. So why don't we go into our stand-up, just summarizing today.
Just before the stand-up, like one thing I'm planning today, just I will announce the time, it will be in the afternoon, will be just for those of you who are struggling to get a hang of this project. I will have just particularly focused a video call, just like a Google and also Slack, just so that you can ask any question, and I try to guide you, at least make you understand if there is any confusion. And also I will provide some tips, codes, just that you should understand it. It may have error, but at least the kind of that will get you a little bit further. Because I think those of you who did, who kind of submitted and did something, you get credit out for that, for solving it yourself. And also at the end, when you submit your challenge, how you manage to do the code on your own is kind of a point. But I want also just people to move and get the data and kind of get also there and see, so it's not just only on the back part of like trying to just understand the code, a little bit, move on, get the data, and maybe they can demonstrate their skill better in that element. So I will hold this video call as well as also just give us some code tip. So hopefully, a few of you who kind of direct message me about like you didn't understand it, how hopefully you will understand. Okay, with that, then we can just proceed to the stand up. That's where the list is. Just I posted it for today's from what Anastasia wrote, the code just that generated for the whole week. So this is for today. Okay, so
Hi, Mokali.
Good morning.
Morning.
So yesterday, I was finishing up on what was supposed to be submitted, and I read the document that was given about the Twitter followers fallacy. So today, I am restructuring my approach to the whole challenge because I noticed yesterday there was. I need to look at it from a different perspective to get like more insight. And yeah, that's what I have to do for today and finish up the challenge, hopefully. So
Any
yeah.
blockers?
any challenge blocker?
Not really. So yeah. Everything's going as planned. So yeah. Thank you.
Great. Next is Apio Guari. Apio Guari, 18.
Maybe if the person is not here, because these are just the email, the first part of the email. So just hopefully you recognize it. If the person is not there, we can continue to the next.
Stephanie 10.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yesterday I completed the challenge that we were to do. And made my submission. I also managed to get some few tweets for all those followers. Although I was getting the error for one error. So I'm still trying to work around that. Though I did get around 30,000 tweets. So it didn't get for all the followers. I got about 20. So I'm still managing to go about that error so that I can get the entrances. So yeah.
Okay. Any challenge other than the error, Stephanie?
Yeah. When trying to I think I got that limit for when you're trying to access the API. There's that limit. Although I'm putting a certain time for it to like disconnect and then reconnect again, but I'm still getting an error. So that is what I'm trying to sort out.
Great. Okay. So anyone who has addressed that one also could just you can ask it on the Slack so that they can help you as well.
Wamuyu?
All right, guys. Hi, good morning. So for me, yesterday was majorly completing the scraping challenge and the report. I was very confused about how to go about it, what kind of a report it should look like. So with the session on the Slack, that really worked for me. So today I'm looking forward to the Ask Me Anything session with Yababa later, because I'm working on the Twitter now, part of extracting the tweet. So I'm looking forward to that and asking my questions. Yeah, so that's for me today.
Any blockers?
Not yet.
Okay.
Good
Patrick? Oshugbuge Patrick? Sorry, my name and pronunciation is terrible. Is Patrick Oshugbuge here? Okay. Oluwa Toby Abdulaziz?
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yesterday I was just able to do the challenge actually yesterday, and I'm still trying to get how to make a good presentation. And I think the afternoon section, like I'm actually in need of that. So I will really attend and I will push out like all my problems. I'll just say most of them there. I'm still trying to get around the challenges, but not really well. But I'm actually getting everything, watching the past tutorials and getting everything back. But in the afternoon section, I will actually tell you more on what my problem is.
Okay.
So what is the challenge? Sorry, I didn't understand. So where are you having some difficulty?
Actually, like yesterday, the top 10 leaders, um I was actually trying to scrape on the site because the blog post he gave us, there was I think it was not actually ranked. Like we just have like South Africa, East Africa, West Africa, and each of them. So I was actually having problem arranging the top leaders like that. So and the Twitter part, like I'm still trying to know like what like actually you are actually trying to get. Are we using the top influencers Twitter handle to get their tweets and or what?
Okay, I mean, I think this is probably the stand-up. We don't, we'll defer it later. And I think if you have that kind of confusion, please write it such that, you know, it's always, if you go into a problem solving without understanding the problem, usually it's difficult. So definitely it's good to articulate what you don't understand. That's also skill. So try to, that's what I am encouraging everyone also. It's just like, the more you articulate your challenge, you know, the part you don't understand, the more it's easy, you know, the easier it is that you will get a solution and then you move on. So work also not only on the solution, but also on understanding what you don't understand and articulate them and write them such that we understand where you are. Because sometimes you can just be moving, doing something, but without really having a clarity on why you should do that. Why, you know, why are you supposed to do that? You know, it's like, I think that doesn't help you, that doesn't help us. So it's better to work also on, you know, think for yourself and articulate what you don't understand and ask them. So, okay. So, but we will come.
One point to
Okay,
that.
no problems.
Just going to add one point to what Yevabel said. It's very difficult to help anybody if you say, I don't know what I'm doing or I don't know what's going on. If you can't even state your problem in a good way, and this goes to one of the discussions we were having in, I think I posted in the random channel about this, the importance of being able to write down or to express in writing, what are you doing and why are you doing it? The same is true if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't even know where to start answering the problem, you can ask, but you'll make progress a lot faster if you say, this is what I understand the problem to be, and this is the step in which I'm facing a challenge. It's very hard to help somebody who says, I don't know what to do, please help me. And that, to a large extent, it's simply saying, I'm not, this is not just to you, Abdulaziz, this is just a general comment from what people are saying on Slack. If you can express very clearly what is the specific aspect of the problem that you're having, it will be much easier to get help. This is not a commentary just on what you were saying, Abdulaziz.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Abdulaziz, you probably have understood a lot of it. You probably moved, but again, just it would be nice to articulate it such that I can just then address particularly your challenge. The same is for everyone who's kind of like, who probably moved even further without having coherence in their head, like, you know, understanding the steps that they are following. You know, sometimes it's good to just like, okay, did I understand why I should scrape this website? Why I should scrape this other website? Why I should connect? Why do I need to collect this data? And then there is a second step, which is then going to Twitter and fetch something. Do I understand why these steps are necessary to the goal that I'm asked? So that's the kind of question I want you to kind of fit in your head. If that thing is not fitting, it's not making sense, ask it in whichever way you can, but ask it until you understand it. Don't stop failing, don't fail to understand it. So I think with that, just let's continue. But that's the really a general comment for everyone as well. It doesn't matter if you go even further. It's important that you connect the dots in your head. The dots, you know, the goal and the tasks that you are doing are connected, and that way you get, you know, better. You accelerate. Then then you will suggest even what to do next. Otherwise, you will just stop there. You finish something, done. You know, you don't know what to do next. But if you connected the dots, then you can actually project and even have your own project to do. Okay. So
Evelyn, Patrick, we'll come to Patrick afterwards at the end. Evelyn? Is Evelyn here? Okay, I think it's Kevin Carobia. GK Carobia.
Hello guys.
hi.
Yeah, so far, okay, the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I was really getting the hang of what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go, and what I'm supposed to look at. But after the first 3 days, now that it has clicked, everything is okay. Like I find it enjoyable, yeah, and I'm learning a lot actually, which says something because it's the first 3 days, and I'm learning things. So I'm looking forward to what more to come.
Great.
Yeah,
Any
maybe the challenge
blocker?
or the challenge that I faced actually at the beginning was getting the data from Twitter, like which methods to use from the 3P API to get the particular status, what the 3P status actually mean, the nitty gritties. And for me, the other challenge that I foresee is, or rather that I'm expecting to get is I'm not really good at reports. So yeah, that's something to look forward to and work on. Yeah, thank you.
Great,
Super.
thanks. I think that's also it. You know, reporting is really great. I mean, I would not also say reporting is my strength, but definitely, you know, it's good to admit it and then to learn about it. That's great.
Maybe on a future stand-up, we can talk about what you told me about your different team members. One person who was so good at reporting that he or she didn't even need to be good at data science.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's always it's a team as you work. Like, you know, you not only just search for a person who's like who knows how to code, but also like, you know, other skills while at the same time understanding you, because when you write a report, you need to understand. So it's really multidisciplinary data sciences, and you know where your strengths, you know, if you know where your strengths is and if you know where your weakness is, you can complement each other. And so yeah, like I think with what some of you like Kevin, who went even further in terms of understanding the different parts in the TweePy, which is, you know, which one to use. Later, if you join me and kind of help me as well to kind of answer some of the questions, because you probably have a clarity for or like the way you will phrase them will probably make other people understand better. So it would be nice, just those of you who have moved and who understood, to join me and kind of help me as well in kind of addressing some questions. Okay. The next one is Olusola Gundepo. Okay, maybe Olusela is not here. I don't know how to even where to break that one. Anyone?
Alaro Abu Bakar Olayemi. We need to do a stand-up on how to pronounce names from different countries.
Exactly.
Starting with Nigeria.
We should all at least.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, it's pronounced Alaro Abubakar.
Okay. Alaro Abubakar. Okay.
Yeah. So it's been great. I've been learning a lot. I was able to complete the challenge yesterday, and I was able to submit, though it was kind of late, and I was able to get the data from Twitter. I was able to get the influencer's name, and so far so good. The challenges I've encountered, I've managed to solve most of them, and reporting to is one of the things I'm lacking, but I'm learning a lot with it now, and I hope to learn a lot about the reporting part, and so far so good. It's been nice, and there's no big challenge. It's just been good all the way. It's just been good.
Great.
Brian Odiambo, let's see if the blackout is over. He said he might not be online. Brio Dev, no. All right, Patrick Oshugbuge, I'm sorry.
Okay, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This is the first time I'll be speaking here, and I just want to quickly say I'm grateful for the opportunity of being in this community. I appreciate the effort of everyone, the team members, and the community at large. Thank you very much. Yeah, with respect to the challenge, I'm kind of lagging behind because I was not available on Monday and Tuesday. So I started looking at the challenge yesterday, and I just couldn't get a hand on the challenge because there were so many a lot of informations to digest. But I stayed on it throughout yesterday. I kept looking at it, and I was able to solve the first number one question on the challenge, and then I'm looking forward to solving the rest, or today or before the actual submission deadline on Sunday. But I kind of like missed the submission yesterday, so I don't know if I can still submit if I'm able to complete the tasks today. Yeah.
So maybe one point that we can make here. So our goal is that we want it to be strict on the assessment or picking the right people, and then we want everyone to finish being job ready. And this is not kind of school that there will be this leaderboard, there will be points, but our goal is really first to get everyone job ready, and second to place the right people with the right companies. So do your best. There will be points, there will be a leaderboard, but the emphasis is not at all on sort of grades and who's one step more, one step less. So do your best, but we want to fight very hard, and Yevama, correct me if I'm wrong, about worrying about individual points or contributions.
I mean, I was exactly about to say that. I think, this is, the grading and the thing is important because, people has to get credit for doing something, and it's also in a job environment, delivering it on time is an important, it's not an option. So you need to adapt to that kind of system where, but the whole point is that if you don't do it, if you persist, I guarantee that you really would just get there. Like the whole point is just persist. And if you miss one or two, it doesn't matter. It's like you just go on and aim to the next one. Try to do it better as much as you can. And I don't think of okay, if I miss this point, then we're not gonna grade it in this linear, okay, you have. I think there is an element which would really show over time. That's why we need this time, that whether you actually are giving it your best, whether you are persisting, whether you have the work ethic. So all these are what is really essential for us, not just only that you miss 1 point or 2 points. So I think this is really a message to all of you. Just persist. I know for some of you it's really challenging, but you don't know even your potential. Sometimes you pass a little bit, in the past, you just go a little bit ahead, and then you can be like the star. So it's really you can surprise yourself sometimes incredibly. And so it doesn't matter, just because you move now faster doesn't necessarily mean you will move always faster, but there will be challenges. That's why those of you who move faster also understand there will be a time sometimes it might not be your strengths. So I think there is this thing. So I keep just my simple advice is persist. It is hard. It's just challenging. but that's the nature, like that's like whatever it is, just like move along, come in, give it your best, submit, just move on, and then you will get there. Like this is really just like a muscle. If you just keep in the morning and always just do sport, you might not see it like today or tomorrow, but you definitely will see it. Just the brain is a muscle, so it's kind of you really need just to exercise regularly and to keep on doing it, instead of just looking and say like, okay, no, today there is no core muscles, so whatever, I stop it. Then you will not build it. But if you keep, definitely this is a guarantee. It's just normal. So yeah, persist.
Wow. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Nice talk there. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, everyone. So let's, we have our normal schedule. So just recap. So we're going to post a poll on what do we do about next week. Looking to bring, support the Ethiopian applicants. We have regular tutorials. We have an extra tutorial from Sena on career coaching. And Yevabel says he will schedule a stand-up or a discussion at some point in the afternoon. So keep an eye on Slack.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye.